Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to give you guys 10 plus tips on how to grow long, healthy, natural hair. I just want to say all of this right here is my natural hair. And I have not put any harsh chemicals into my hair. I have never dyed my hair. I've never had a perm or a weave or anything like that. And that's mostly due to the fact that my mom wanted to keep my hair nice and healthy because she knew all of that stuff could damage my hair. The most that I've done to my hair is get it flat ironed like twice a year, and that's pretty much it. Tip number 1 is you have to stop using harsh chemicals on your hair. That means bleach, relaxers, perms, you have to cut them out. I know so many people want to dye their hair so bad because I know it just gets tiring having the same color for so long. But in order to get color in your hair, you have to bleach it to make it lighter, which ends up damaging your hair so much. There are alternatives that you can use if you want to get color into your hair, such as temporary hair wax that just washes off the next day. Tip number 2 is do not leave your hair in tight hairstyles or the rubber band hairstyles that you see going around. Yes, they are very cute. No, I am not telling you to cut them out. But my advice to you is do not leave them in for more than 3 to 4 days. What happens is your hair starts wrapping around the ponytail or the rubber band that you're using. And when that happens, your hair gets tangled and then it causes a lot of breakage. But you can prevent that by not leaving your hair in those hairstyles for too long. Tip number 3, do not let your hair dry out. This is especially true if you have high porosity hair like I do. You cannot wait until your next wash day to moisturize your hair. So for some, instead of waiting a week, you might have to moisturize your hair again before it's time to wash your hair. I know this is a pain, but you really cannot wait until the next wash day. And this leads me to my next point. Use a moisturizer, a detangling spray, or an oil when undoing your twist outs or braid outs. Because again, you don't want your hair to get too dry because that can cause breakage. However, since it's from doing a twist out or a braid out, you don't need to use too much of that product because you don't want the twist out to be ruined by the weight of the product. Therefore, whether you use a moisturizer, a detangling spray, or an oil, you do not need a lot of it. Just apply a little to your fingertips, and then as you're undoing them, it'll just work its way into your hair. Number 5 is deep condition your hair often. And by often, I mean once a week. Even if that means every wash day for you, if you are the type of person who only washes your hair once a week, like I am. This is a really good way to just make sure your hair is getting the moisture it needs. After you use a deep conditioner, you start noticing that your hair is easier to work with and that there's more moisture. And typically the bottles give you a suggested time for how long you should leave it in your hair. You do not need to stick to that time frame. You can go do other things around the house while you let the product sit on your hair, but if you do that, I suggest putting a shower cap on to trap in the heat and lock in the moisture. Number 6, protective hairstyles are key. Now I know for me, sometimes I'll do these hairstyles and I start looking like a little kid, or it's just not my style and I'm like, did I do something wrong? It's most likely yes. However, protective hairstyles work. So go ahead and do your twist outs and go ahead and do your braid out. And if they're not your style, then you don't have to wear them out. But I'm telling you, they help a lot. On the days when you're not doing anything and it's just a lazy day in your house, then I would say do some sort of protective hairstyle. And then when it's time for you to go out, you can switch up the style before you leave. But since we're in quarantine and there's not much to do, I've been wearing a lot of protective hairstyles. So I know you can too. Plus, they keep your hair safe because I know when I have my hair down, all I'm doing is like touching it and stuff like that. 1, that causes a lot of frizz. 2, you can end up causing a lot of breakage without even knowing it just by playing with your hair all day. My 7th tip for you guys is always wrap your hair at night. Now you preferably want to do this with a silk scarf or a silk bonnet because it can help protect your edges from any breakage that's caused. Or if you don't want to sleep with a bonnet on because it's just not your thing or you don't want to do it, what I suggest then is switching your pillowcase to a silk pillowcase. This next tip is for all of my impatient queens like me. But you gotta learn how to detangle your hair carefully. Your hair is something that sticks with you for the rest of your life, so you don't want to rush on it. For instance, say you were getting a tattoo. Would you want the tattoo artist to rush? I don't think so. So why are you rushing on your hair? Cut it out! You always want to detangle your hair when it's wet, never dry. It just makes the whole process go a lot easier. And if you haven't already, you want to invest in an actual detangling brush, such as a Denman brush, or I recently started using this other brush. I forgot the name of it, but my mom, I think, got it off of Amazon. So yeah, just experiment and try brushes that you like and that work for you. And when using the brush, I recommend using it vertically first. So say this is your hair and it's tangled, take the brush and go down vertically. And then once you do that, you can do it horizontally like that, and it just causes a lot less breakage. Tip number 9, drink water and have a balanced diet. I drink about 64 ounces of water, which is something that I used to not do, and when I started doing it, my hair was blossoming into the flower it was always meant to be. Drinking more water equals nourished roots, and that's our goal here. And what I mean by a balanced diet is you don't have to go on this strict meal plan, this strict diet that like makes you unhappy, okay? I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying make sure you have a balanced diet. So make sure you're getting your proteins in your vegetables and your fruits, things like that. It keeps your body healthy, and you know what's attached to your body? Your hair. Tip number 10, get a professional trim to keep your ends healthy. I suggest doing this 3 to 4 times a year so they can just trim away any split ends that you may have to keep your hair nice and healthy. If you want, you can get your hair flat ironed while you're there so you can see the length of your hair and so that you know the hairdresser is taking off the right amount for you. And that kind of leads me into my final tip, is do not put too much heat on your hair. Yes, sometimes a straight hairstyle can just look so cute, but if you use too much heat on your hair without any heat protector, or you just don't know what you're doing too well with the flat iron, then it can cause heat damage, which is very, very, very hard to fix. So yeah, those were all the tips I had for you today. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Comment down below any video ideas that you guys would want to see in the future. Hit the bell notifications to know the next time that I upload a video. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Bye! You ain't gonna ruin that for me, nah. Why did the mailman just like fly past here? Well, that's not our normal mailman, so maybe that has something to do with it. But I suggest putting a shower cap on, because it can help save your ends. Because this is especially true if you have high porosity hair like I do.